fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull. When you tune in to the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. You got Craig and TK and FD tuned in at the fish report.
Coming to you live from Studio F in Russia, Ohio. It's the Fish Report Live Show with your hosts, Craig Fissinger and Ken Francis.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Fish Report Live. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Craig Fissinger. That is Ken Francis. We're your host. Back in our sound room this morning, it's two guys we like to call TK and Heavy D. We'll join them a little bit later in the program. And out in Studio R, it's Covey, and as we like to call Mr. Perfection. Another perfect game last night for Daniel Kearns. We'll talk to them about that here in just a few minutes. And Ken, an action-packed show this morning on FRL and pretty lively studio for 6 o'clock on a Thursday morning.
Yeah, it was, Craig. We had a lot of guests early this morning in our showroom. It was great to see a lot of fans outside waiting to get in. They typically a few out there, but this morning, boy, there was a bunch of them out there waiting to get in at 6 o'clock in the morning. We left them in a little bit beforehand, and it was great to see Covey and Kearns in the studio. TK and Heavy D are back in the sound room, so we got a lot of fun playing tonight.
What are we talking about this morning?
Well, Craig, this morning we're going to talk to Coach Kevin Phlipot, head coach of the Russia Raider baseball team. He's in his 5th season at Russia, Craig. He's got his team playing the best baseball they've been playing all year right now at the perfect time of the season, and they've had a big win last night in the second round of sectional tournament. Big game coming up for the Raiders and Coach Phlipot on Monday night against the number 1 state-ranked and undefeated Fort Laramie Redskins.
Yeah, can't wait for that, of course. And I think we've had Coach Phlipot ever on the show every season since he started 5 years ago, so always fun to have him back on the show. But let's get things rolling, and we'll start out talking some softball. For that, we'll go out to Studio R, check in with Covey and Kearns. Guys, good morning. And Covey, you know how lucky you are to be sitting next to Perfection again.
Yeah, I think we got to go with that Reds commercial where you see 2 Tom Brownings. So I'll just we should just have 2 Daniel Kearnses out here instead of me. So I don't know how this spiel would go with 2 Kearnses. I don't know. It'd be like with 2 Coveys. I wouldn't know what to do without my Kearns. So
exactly,
we'll see.
Well, let's get to some softball talk. The SCAL still has a little bit of league to finish up with. I think just 1 game left to go. But where are we sitting at? And give us a tournament update.
Well, Russia Saturday wrapped up the league by pretty much a hit parade over Houston. Finished the season 11-1, 4th straight SCL title, 3rd straight outright. Unfortunately, no SCAL team won a tournament game. 0-7, all lost in the first round. Sad to see, but there is one more game, Houston at Fort Laramie tomorrow, which actually should be a good game. Laramie can tie for 2nd place. That's crazy to even see that they're still playing, and a lot of teams have been done for a week and a half, so that's crazy. But some big districts coming up Saturday. Riverside's a fun team going to be watching. Jalen Stanley, just hitting bombs all over the place. She's got range and pitching in the circle for National Trail. Triad also upset Bradford. Bradford playing without Skip Miller, won 5-0. And I see Triad rolling on in the regional as well as Mechanicsburg over Southeastern.
I got to watch a little bit of the Riverside team, and they're definitely explosive offensively, amazing team. I definitely picked them over National Trail. And the Triad team, they got a really solid pitcher in the circle for them. Threw a 1-hitter against Russia. They were kind of talked down around here, but they really surprised Raiders, and I imagine surprised the Railroaders as well, beating them in the sectional final. And if they can stay hot and keep that pitching going, I can definitely see them getting out of that district. And as well as Mechanicsburg, they've been playing a solid season all year. Although Southeastern has a really solid senior leadership, I just don't think they can match up to Mechanicsburg there.
Guys, a couple weeks ago we had Minster coach Rob Hemmelgarn on this show and talked a little bit of MAC softball. I know they have a big district game coming up against a familiar foe, don't they?
Yeah, just right down State Route 66, playing the New Bremen Cardinals. I saw this New Bremen team play a couple weeks ago against Lehman. They got a solid pitcher by the name of Molly Smith. They got to play solid defense. When you're playing a tough team like Minster, top state ranked in just about every sport you can think of, even softball. You just have to be nearly perfect. Just like how Rushi's playing Laramie next Monday. You just know how you got to be perfect against good teams like that. You can't make many mental mistakes and especially physical mistakes as well. Errors, hitting the wrong cutoff. So, but I expect Minster to really go into that regional tournament.
Yeah, I talked to Kelly Naylor. She's a senior leader on that team. They have a really nice senior leadership. I think New Bremen dropped the league game, but they're definitely going to come back probably with a better game plan. But like you said about the mental and physical errors, I'm in tournament right now, but the physical errors, they happen, but the mental errors are the really big thing. And I know the softball field's a lot smaller. I think it's a little more fast-paced than baseball, so especially there, one wrong move left or right can really put you in a hole early for softball. So, it'll be a great game, but as well, Minster, I think they're still undefeated all the way through the season so far, so I'll probably have to take them as well.
Guys, to get off base of the tournament trail just a little bit, Covey, you talked about how the Shelby County League schools went 0-7 in the tournament trail, but how about a shout out to Coach Molenkamp and her Rushi Raiders? You briefly touched base on the fact that they run-rolled Houston the other day, but that came from a team that lost a lot of great players off last year's team, very unexpected, and her team goes 11-1 in the Shelby County League.
Yeah, and it's really crazy how great of a season Rushi had. They lost the SCL Player of the Year in Grace Saunders. We don't know who that. It's going to be very interesting to see who the coaches decide on who will be the Player of the Year this year. I'm going to assume it's someone from the Rushi team, whether it be Jenna Cardano, Riley Hammond's one of them too. Maybe is who my final guess is going to be. But it's really amazing, and they beat quality opponents throughout the year. Versailles, they had a really tight game with some good teams like Bradford and Newton. That shows you how crazy deep and good Division IV girls softball sectionals is. It's crazy, and they go first round having to play Triad. There's a solid Fort Laramie team in that sectional in Bradford. That's 4 good teams right there that I just listed off, just in one sectional. There's about probably 16 solid teams in that sectional, and Rushi was just a 6th seed, and we know how solid they were this year. So great job done by Michelle Molenkamp. They're going to bring back great talent next year. I definitely think Rushi's the early front runner, and they're going to be my pick to win their 5th straight SCL title. When their first one back in 2010, Coach Molenkamp has brought a great tradition to Rushi. I expect them to continue. They will have high numbers and might even have their first JV softball team for the first time in about 6 years. So the program is really getting going. I love the enthusiasm, and it's great for us back here in Raider Nation.
All right, guys, good stuff. We're out of time on that, but yeah, they're right, Ken. So much good softball being played in this area. When you do play an out-of-conference schedule, you play your Bradfords and some of your CCC teams and the MAC teams like Minster and all that. It is very tough to have a good out-of-conference schedule as well as win your league too. So all the talk we're doing tonight this morning about softball and baseball, there is a little track and field going on right now down in Piqua. Of course, they've got the Southwest District meet going. That's in Division III. That started on Tuesday with 7 finals. We'll take a quick look at the standings after day 1. And you notice on the boys' scores, you see Fort Laramie there in first place and Sonia in second, courtesy of 2 pole vaulters that went 1-2 over there, probably the 2 best pole vaulters in the state. I'm going to say that come Saturday, Ansonia drops out of that second spot. I see Covington actually slipping into that. They're not on that top 3 right now, but Covington very good. And then in third, you see Newton. I think they're going to hold into that spot. Ken also on the boys' side, Fairlawn very good right now. I think Fairlawn might possibly threaten that third spot, I guess, but I actually have them picked going fourth. They have some very fast kids on the Fairlawn team. And then on the girls' side, you see Covington in the number 1 spot, Fort Laramie in second, and Houston in third. Make no mistake about it, West Liberty Salem is the team to beat here, and they're going to run away with this district. I'm calling it right now. They're not in there right now, but lots of girls that qualified for the finals on Saturday. They're going to rack up a lot of points on Saturday. They're going to win the district easy. They're going to win the regional easy, and they're my pick to win state. So Fort Laramie's got a very good team as well. Again, in that second spot right now. I see them staying there. And then I also have the Botkins Lady Trojans picked to go third. They weren't in the top 3 on the list we just saw there, but Botkins very good with Grace Holman, the thrower, and they got a hurdler there, Adriana Judy. Emma Koenig's a distance runner for them, so they're very good as well. I see them getting that third spot. But Saturday coming up, you got 22 finals. So if you don't have anything to do on Saturday morning, head on out to Piqua there. Very nice facility. See a lot of great races. Actually, the gates open at 9 o'clock. Field events start at 10 o'clock, and running starts at 11:30. $6 to get in, free parking. So again, you don't have nothing to do out there. You'll see a lot of great races and some good stuff. All right, Ken, we've got a few minutes here. Let's talk some baseball and tournament baseball going on right now. Russia Raiders, of course, played last night. A little bit of league to go yet. I think maybe just one game left in the SCL league schedule. Fill us in on what's going on.
Well, Craig, Fort Lorm, they've been the team in the best team in the area, best team in the state as far as that goes all year, sitting at 24-0. Craig, 11-0 in the Shelby County League. They've obviously have wrapped up the Shelby County League championship. Anna sitting there at 9-3. Houston and Lormy, Craig, they've still got a game left to play. They're playing that game on Saturday, I believe it is. But I like to look at the Russia Raiders there, Craig. If I remember the first set of standings we put up here, the Russia team was 0-4 in the Shelby County League, 0-7 overall. They finished 7-5, so winning 7 of their last 8 in the league. I think they've won 6 of their last 8 games overall. So Coach Phlipot's got his team playing well at the right time of the season. Anna Rockets, Craig, a very good baseball team. Russia, of course, knocked them off last week at Anna. But they had a big tournament win last night as well. So Russia, Anna, Fort Laramie, 3 best teams in the Shelby County League, 3 teams still playing in the baseball postseason.
Yeah, and as we talked about, whether it's softball or baseball, you get to the postseason, records don't matter anymore, state rankings don't matter anymore. Everyone starts over again. So, we got underway on Wednesday night in tournament, as Russia did at least, and Fort Laramie played as well. I know Anna was in action. Give us an update on what's going on in the tournament. Let's start with Division III. Start with Anna.
Yeah, Anna, Craig, they had a nice win over Northeastern last night, and they're going to take on National Trail. National Trail, Craig, had a really nice season this year, so that's going to be a very good Division III championship game. They're being played on Monday night.
All right, and we'll jump ahead to Division IV. And speaking of those Russia Raiders,
we look at the Division IV sectional, Craig, and like you said, come postseason, you throw the records out, and everybody is 0-0. And Craig, Russia Raiders, Fort Laramie, what a great game that's going to be. I see, both teams throwing their aces. I look for Mittendorf versus Kearns in that game. It's Monday at 5 o'clock at Sydney High School, and like you said, anything can happen in baseball. Anything can happen, and baseball's a funny sport where, you get a couple bloops, a walk, an error, and somebody hits one in the gap, and somebody can win 3-0, and that's what it's going to take to win this game here. And if you're Russia or Laramie, you're going to have to play it darn near to perfection.
And we'll take a look at one more bracket in Division IV, and we got a coach that's playing that's going to be retiring after this season.
Coach Kinger. I heard he slid into home plate last night after the game, so hopefully he didn't get hurt or anything. But, yeah, they're going to be taking on Mechanicsburg. I think that's going to be a really good baseball game, Craig. I know Mechanicsburg's got a great record. Lehman's been solid all year. Their strength of schedule over there at Lehman, sometimes is questionable. But I think they've proven to a lot of people this year that they got a good baseball team. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out of that sectional.
All right, great stuff. And we're going to take a short break, but stay right there because when we come back, we're going to talk some more baseball, including that big interview with Russia coach Kevin Phlipot.
My father said it's time to be home man, but don't go and tall in the motherland. If you were born with heart, raised on pride, this is gonna go wrong through your bloodline. Oh, 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 loaded bruised and slain. Oh, 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 pride in this name. When the skies run deep within this blue, false use devised by foolish views, religious division
And welcome back to the second half of Fish Report Live. Before the break, we were talking some Shelby County Athletic League baseball including the tournament that just got underway last night. That brings us to our next guest. He is the head coach of the Russia Raiders and has been for the past 5 seasons. I think we've had him on this show every year since then. He is Kevin Phlipot. And Coach, welcome to Fish Report Live. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Well, listen, congratulations on a win last night, a tournament win to start things out. And, Coach, is there a new energy with this team now that you're in the postseason?
Yeah, there definitely is. I mean, with the postseason itself, it brings excitement. It's a win-or-go-home atmosphere. But along with that, these last week or 10 days, this has been the best baseball we've been playing. So we got a lot of confidence right now, and the postseason just brings a little more out of you.
Well, we were talking about your team a little earlier in the show, and of course, your senior pitcher there, Daniel Kearns, with a very nice performance on Wednesday night, throwing that perfect game. But when you look at this team and what they did on Wednesday night in that game against Riverside, it was a run rule. What do you take from that game? What did you like most about what your team did?
Well, obviously Daniel's performance, you can't overlook that. But what I was most satisfied with is our offense. We scored. We had 2 big innings. I think we scored 4 runs twice. So that's been our struggle this year, scoring runs, and it was nice to see us to score a few runs just hopefully that's able to continue.
Coach, you started the season out in the county record. You started out 0-4. When you start out 0-4 in the county, do you have to reevaluate your goals at all?
No, we did. Once we were, I think, 0-7, lost our first 3 league games, so we had to reevaluate. Obviously, with what Laramie had, we knew league was pretty much not likely, at least it's out of our hands anyway. So we just had to take a step back and focus on postseason. We had to find a way to win some ball games, get a little confidence, a little momentum, and, hopefully playing our best brand of ball at the end of the year, which we are, and, have a chance right now to go at Fort Laramie for a sectional title. So what we started with, we got a chance of doing something here. So we've turned things around, and I like where we're at right now.
Coach, good morning to you. This is Ken. Hey,
Ken.
you talked. Craig mentioned a little bit about the rough start, and I got to give it to you, coaches, and also to the senior class who just really helped pull the team through that tough start. Like you said, playing the best baseball of the season right now, which is very important, obviously. Tell us about this group of seniors, who some of them are, and how important they were to you at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, we're got 8 seniors on our team, so obviously that's a big part of who we are. And we've got some guys, Evan Monyer, Daniel Kearns, who played as sophomores. They've got a lot of experience on our 2017 team, making our run through tournament. So those guys and Carter Francis, Will Sherman, a lot of guys who just have been playing for a couple years. And those seniors, they've have experience. They've matured. They're very vocal if you've been around us. And they've led us in just everything they've done, just on and off the field, to keep things going, keep things positive, and help give us a chance to get things turned around. And we've done that.
Amongst the seniors, you've got a couple underclassmen that have played a vital role for you this year. When I seen these 2 young men initially on the ball diamond, I thought, these kids are going to do just fine. They're going to fit in well. And if you ask me, they've done everything and then some that you could have asked for them. But Aiden Shappy and Baby G, Grant Saunders, I like to refer to him as that. But great kids who have done phenomenal job for you this year.
Yeah, they have. We start those 2 freshmen and a sophomore, Drew Sherman, as well. So we got some talent will be coming back. They've started every game, almost every game. So they've played very well as underclassmen, and all 3 of those guys pitch. So there's going to be a lot to ask for them in the future, and I'm very excited about that. We got some players that'll be coming back as well.
Coach, Monday night you've got Coach Jeff Sanders and the Fort Laramie Redskins. It's no secret they're an excellent baseball team, and they're the defending D4 state champion. But I feel like we're going to come in loose. I think Rushie's team's got nothing to lose. They're going to come in loose with a lot of confidence. What makes this Fort Laramie team so good? Other than the fact that they're just flat out good, what makes this team who they are?
Well, they're experienced. I mean, they bring so much back from last year. I mean, all of these guys starting now had a significant role in last year's championship team, so that's kind of an obvious one, and they're confident as well. I mean, they've had so much experience. They played so many big games. They started off so well. I mean, they got just everything rolling for them. They're confident. They come into every game thinking that they're going to win, and so far they have won every game. So it's going to take a pretty good challenge for Daniel on Monday, and all of us play a good game to be able to have a chance to knock them off.
Coach, let's go back to about the middle part of the season this year. What can you say was maybe a big turning point of the season for this Rushi baseball team? Is there one significant moment, or maybe a game, or maybe a move that you and the coaches did? What kind of helped turn this team around?
I don't really necessarily one game. I mean, in the middle of that, maybe the Versailles game, we played a real nice game. That was probably our first significant victory. We finally beat a good ball team, a quality opponent. That kind of got the confidence, hey, we can, hang with some of the better opponents. And, we've made a few moves on defense as well. I thought one of the biggest ones, moving Carter Francis to third base, Grant Saunders to first. We just kind of flip-flopped those two players, and that helped their left side of the defense on the infield. Carter playing third. I mean, he did a great job all year. Very versatile, very athletic, and some of those little things. Our defense is what we struggled with early on, and he started making plays for us, and we just started playing more consistent then.
What about the play of Jordan York in center field? I've been very pleased with his play as well. He kind of moved from left field to center field there early in the season and seemed to adapt very well.
Yeah, we were looking to find a center fielder, and last year was in left, and he's not the fastest guy, but he can really track it. So he was need to be strong up the middle, and our center field play from Jordan has just been outstanding all year long.
Coach, Ken just mentioned going into Monday's game, your team being kind of loose. I've been to a number of your games this season, and I noticed that the chatter is very loose around the field, and I would say it's very lively. Matter of fact, I think it's downright funny, some of the chatter. And I'm going to say I was at a game that you had the weekend of prom, and your center fielder, who was just named, but I won't name him again, I heard him actually say something to the shortstop about, if I'd known you were this cute, I would have asked you to prom. And I got a big kick out of it. Now, I don't know how you react to that as a coach, but you played back in the day. Did you say similar things when you were on the field?
Not exactly. I mean, we were vocal. We were supposed to be, out cheering your team on, that type of thing. But not to the extent of these guys. It's all in good fun. They definitely have a sense of humor, and it's a little different for some teams, tougher our opponents to take. Some it irritates, it annoys, but I've seen the other team crack a few smiles, and an umpire here or there might have overheard something and thought it was funny. So, it's baseball. I mean, if you can't have fun playing baseball, why are we here? So I enjoy it. There's maybe only once or twice they might have crossed the line, but for the most part, they've got me laughing a few times too.
Listen, Coach, I got one more question before we let you go. The guy sitting next to me has been working for you or with you, I guess I should say, and all your time there. at Russia, and he's on the PA, and I know he's been doing the PA since prior to you even coming there. And I remember the first interview we had with you after you took the head coaching position. It was a little later in the season, and you had a few differences to work out with this guy as far as how he was doing his job, and you trying to do your job. After 5 seasons, Coach, did you finally work it out?
We figured it out. We've gotten our timing down. So Ken, I appreciate what you've done so much for our program. You bring a little extra class to it, and what you've done, the time, it's been appreciated. We all thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, Coach, and it's been a lot of fun, and I got to be honest with you, I'm going to miss it a whole bunch. So you never know. Some Saturday morning I may show up to do a game for you or something.
You know where the mic's at.
That's right. So, all right. Well, listen, Coach, we appreciate you being on our show this morning. I know you got a big next few days ahead of you preparing for Fort Loramie. Best of luck to you. You've done a great job with this group of kids this year. Thank you for all the time and effort that you spend away from your house and spend time with our kids coaching the fun baseball sport.
Thank you, fellas. My pleasure.
Thanks, Coach. All right, that was the head coach of the Russia Raiders, Kevin Phlipot. Always fun to have him on the show each and every season. And now let's head back to the sound room and check in with TK and Heavy D, a couple baseball dads back there themselves. Guys, good morning. And Heavy D has grown some facial hair since last week.
Looks like somebody I know on the team.
Heavy D, you're I don't know if you get it from your son or your son gets it from you.
No, he definitely gets it from me. I'm very masculine.
All right, well, we're going to start with TK back there. We're always looking forward to his Athlete of the Week, SCAL Athlete of the Week. TK, what do you got for us this week?
Well, this week we're going with ladies softball. I know we had Mr. Perfect, but I wanted to spread the love around a little bit. More than that, because of another good senior here at Russia. I don't think I've dipped into Russia much at all this spring. So wrapping up the season Saturday with a great big victory over Houston to win their 4th consecutive SCAL title. Jenna Credonier was a big part of that, playing shortstop, leading off the first inning with a big single to keep things rolling in a three-run inning. Coming back in the second, another great single. That turned into an 8-run inning, and that led the Raiders. They just kept pounding away at Houston. Just great leadership from Jenna all through the season. Really nice the way she came through there in the game Saturday to help the team win that championship. So this week's Athlete of the Week is Russia shortstop and senior Jenna Credonier.
Well, that's a great call right there, TK. And I want to throw in a co-athlete of the week. Can I name one? I haven't named one all year.
Go for it.
I'm going to name Russia left-hander Dirty Daniel Kearns. He's had a phenomenal career. He's had a great season this year. Threw a perfect game again last night. He's been an instrumental part of the Raider comeback this year. So my co-MVP for the week is Daniel Kearns.
That's good.
Good call on that. A lot of good seniors at Russia, that's for sure. And Mr. Heavy D, I want to call you Mr. because you have the facial hair now for some reason. But what's in the mailbag?
I'm feeling like Tom Selleck is who I'm feeling, Magnum PI. But Coach Phlipot's done a nice job with the team. They got off to a slow start. He's let the boys keep it light in the dugout, and I think that's paying benefits for him. And at the award banquet the other night, the spring award banquet, he got through the all the different awards. And they gave out an award, SCAL 2019 Worst Mustache Award. And that went to my son, Will Sherman. So congratulations on the worst mustache. Well, it actually doesn't look too bad. He can grow one better than his old man. But congratulations to Coach Phlipot and the end of the season success they've had, and good luck to them. And it should be a good one against Coach Sanders and the Redskins next week.
Well, that's a nice award. I've never seen those handed out at a banquet before. I know there's a couple Larmy guys that could probably, or at least one of them that could challenge for that.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I'm glad to see that Will got the title this season.
Good stuff.
All right, guys. Thanks for that. Always fun. And we're going to hopefully talk some baseball again next week. I'm sure we will be. Mm-hmm. So with that wraps up this morning's show. I do want to say special thanks to our guest, Coach Phlipot, for joining us. Ken and I and the crew will all be back again next week, same time, same place. Until then, have a great day, everyone.
Hanging at the fish report. 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 For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull. When you tune in to the Fish Report, hanging at the Fish Report.